Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Welcome to the Pagan Housewife. We're going to be talking about how does the garden grow. And when I put this video title on the schedule for me, I was expecting to have a few more results of my own to share. But alas, the weather has had other plans. Now, my established flower bed that's at the farmhouse we're renovating, it's doing all right, despite the unseasonable cold last month and this drought that we've been putting up with. It finally rained last night, but it's going to take a little while for the plants to catch up. And honestly, by the time we're able to actually move into the farmhouse, the plants in the garden will be fairly established and fairly mature. But alas, I do have a few casualties to report. I'm sorry to say. My rose bush died. It was a yellow rose. I'd had it for, ooh, I had it for 5 years. I kept a rose bush alive for 5 years and now it's dead. And also, my purple smoke bush that I planted 2 years ago died, and the dusty millers. Now, it's true that dusty millers are annuals where I live, but these dusty millers, they were on the south side of the house, they were in full sun, and they had actually survived for 3 years. But I think that ultra cold snap we had last December did the poor things in, and if it wasn't that, then it was definitely the recent cold weather that we had in April. Now, in town, where my husband and I currently live, all we've planted so far this year is a purple azalea. It's past its blooming now, but I'm happy to say that it is thriving. It's getting bigger and taller and bushier. It's very pretty. It has a nice little dance it does in the breeze. There were several occasions last month when I had to cover the poor azalea to protect it from temperatures that dipped down into the freezing range. I mean, you should have seen it. I took this gigantic plastic trash bag and, cozied it around the bush and like it had a little plastic sweater. But the main thing is that it lived, and I'll be transplanting it to the farmhouse bed in the fall. While we're in town, I'm using the flower bed here just kind of as a test run. I don't want to get too attached to anything that isn't likely to survive in our climate. So this is where we do the experimentation. And now that the threat of the too cold weather has passed, I am looking forward to trying out more new flowers and getting some potted herbs. And this year for the flowers, I'm wanting to collect a lot more purple specimens, partly to balance out the oranges that are in the flower bed at the farm, and partly because purple is one of our wedding colors, and I'm sentimental like that. My motivation for trying again with herbs is because I am honestly trying to redeem myself. You would think a practicing witch could keep an herb bed alive. And of course, it's better to grow your own. I mean, you're in your own soil. You're infusing your own energies into it. You can take care of it. Uh, and of course, over the long term, if you're able to keep your herbs alive, it becomes more economical. And honestly, it's getting pretty embarrassing that I've had such a poor success rate with herbs. I'm getting a complex about it, so we are going to try this again. And that's the beautiful thing about nature. No matter how much you might fail a particular year, as long as you survive to see the next spring, you are then afforded another opportunity to do better. And that's an uplifting thought. Now, happily, some of the members at Blackbird's Brew on Gilded are starting to see results for their hard work. My good friend Georgia Liberty, she lives further south than most of us in the group do, and she's been sharing pictures of how her plants are growing, and they're looking absolutely splendid. She's doing such a wonderful job with them, and honestly, it works wonders for the morale of the group because for those of us who've had to wait longer to see anything green or plant anything, it keeps us cheerful. It reminds us that yes, it's coming, and of course, the sight of green growing things is inspirational, and that provides encouragement, and that's what we're all trying our best to do. Encourage each other. We have both new and seasoned gardeners who've graced the group with their presence, and having these conversations and expressing some fellow feeling, it all helps us be better at this. So now I turn the conversation over to you. How is your garden doing this year? Do you have any advice for the rest of us mere mortals? Does anyone watching this channel consider themselves to be primarily a green witch? And have you made your garden a spiritual haven for yourself? I would love to hear all about it, so please tell me about your own experiences and how it's going in the comments section, or better yet, come see us on Gilded. Our server's name is Blackbird's Brew, and there's a link to join us in the description box. And especially if you are a pretty successful gardener, we would greatly appreciate your wisdom. So hope to see you soon, but that will do it for now, and I will see you next time. Bye.